What is happening, crypto crew? Today we're going to be going over a couple news articles that broke and then also TA on utility coins such as Cardano and XRP. So I know you guys are filthy degenerates, so I won't hold back. This is the news article that I wanted to cover. Crypto absolutely dumped in the hole over an inflation metric that came out today, a little bit hotter than expected, approximately like 0.9% higher than expected, which you could say puts rate cut in question. I hope that's not the case for September. I hope we still get one because we're due, but it does put it in question. However, SEC Chair Paul Atkins coming to the rescue, set to unveil details of Project Crypto tomorrow. Now, what could this be? I have no idea, and I'm hoping it's something in regards to ETF news. Hopefully that would help a lot of these ETFs hit the ground and get passed sooner rather than later. That would be max bullishness for cryptocurrency. I don't know if that's quite going to be it. In fact, I have no idea what this could be. We're just going to have to sit and wait. There's a couple of news catalysts that are coming out tomorrow. One of them being Project Crypto. We're going to find out. I don't know when that's happening, but tomorrow, stay tuned. And then there is one that nobody's talking about right now, which is Donald Trump and Putin are going to meet in, I believe it's Anchorage, Alaska, to talk about peace contracts between Ukraine and Russia. If that comes out tomorrow or even next week, that could quite literally send everyone's portfolios. So let's hope for the better, and let's get into some wicked TA. The technical analysis, I wanted to start on Cardano because I'm a big believer in ADA. I personally do hold ADA, so this is not financial advice. I do have staking in ADA. I believe in this project, and I believe in this chart. This chart looks really, really good. You're within macro range, making higher highs and higher lows, and you have since, I believe this is December of 2023. So higher high, higher low, higher high. That is a lower low, but then you made a higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, lower high. And so you started to begin to form a falling wedge almost, but in retrospect, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And so now you're expecting a higher high somewhere in the range of 150 to 160, maybe 175. Depends on where you land on this chart. But this is the trend line that I am gauging as a profit taker top indicator on Cardano. Just in the interim, this project has a long way ahead of it. So I do believe at some point you could revisit the all-time high of $3. I'm not saying plan on it, but I do think that it is possible. It really just depends with these utility coins is A, what are the ETFs saying? Is it going to get passed? B, what's inflation saying? And C, what is the adoption that is happening on these cryptos, right? But so far in the chart, it looks really, really positive, right? People are freaking out because you had a terrible day today. And even with ADA down 5%, to give you comparison, on the week, you're up 35 to 30%, right? That's a great thing. And that is, I will not take away from how positive that movement is and that breakout of this longer trend. I'm going to delete, I don't know what this trend line is, but this trend line right here is what we care about. You've rejected it back in this December top of 2024. You rejected it back in February when that American crypto stockpile was announced. You rejected it back in July, and then you broke it, and so now you retested it successfully today. And so that's why I'm still bullish. You are above this trend line, and you've cracked into the $1 range. I did not expect to have this bullish of a run in such a short time. And I think now that you have the daily golden cross, you have a breakout and a retest. I mean, the sky's the limit for Cardano. And if you're able to hold above this range, I would expect you to continue to chop higher into a parabolic move. You got the move. Oops, that's the array. Need a pile line. Got the move, got the retest, higher high, into some kind of something like that, right? Maybe. We'll see. That trend line is tweaking. I don't know if y'all are seeing that. But good news, you're green on the daily MACD. You are green on the weekly MACD. And you're still closing the weekly candle above this trend line. That's going to be crucial because every single time you've touched this thing, you've wicked nasty, 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 right? Gross wick, disgusting wick. And so now you want to hold above and then continue and form a higher candle above this top right here. That would be bullish conviction and continuation. Your monthly time frame. This is huge, guys. This is tremendous. This is very, very good. You are above the 200-day EMA for the very first time, closing above it, potentially, since January. And you have almost every single time rejected. Reject. And then the history on this thing, just nasty, right? You were not able to mount this thing at all during 2022, and it acted as sturdy resistance. So we should take this very, very seriously. Getting above this means you're cracking into price discovery, right? You're looking for that $1 make you holler price range. And typically when Cardano has cracked in it, you've cruised. Above 115, you are absolutely blasting. So that's why I'm excited that once you blast out of this zone, you're looking towards 115, like we said. And then above that, you're getting into that $1.75 to $2 range. Very, very good stuff on Cardano. The quarterly chart. You're above the 50-day EMA, and you have your 200 sitting right around 108 to 17. So we'll see what happens there. You are beginning to see a reversal on the 4-hour, which is good. You didn't get the cross down yet on the 4-hour MACD. So nice bounce. You just want to see this continuation for this to mean something. Into XRP, guys. I know you filthy XRP degenerates. We're waiting, and I won't keep you guys waiting any longer. XRP. XRP is doing something very interesting, and I think it could be some kind of bull flag, to be honest. You had a tap right here. You have multiple taps to the downside in this sloping resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 taps, and then you finally rejected. You're getting a relief bounce here, and you could close a bullish hammer candle. It does look like some kind of bear flag here, though. So you might have a little bit lower on XRP, depending on what the rest of the cryptocurrency market does. And like I said, like this is not a given bull flag. I'm just saying if you do retrace here, I'm still bullish because you have this macro structure that would take you higher, and your expected outcome from that would be something to the tune, let's say you break out late August, something to the tune of 550. So why are we worried, right? When in doubt, you have to take a zoomed out approach and see what are you trading within. You're still above the 200-day EMA. That's a big check mark. That's not nothing. And let's go to the daily to kind of see what this looks like. It looks like a bull flag. The more I zoom out, right? You could come down and test key resistance and support at 290. You have your daily 50-day EMA at 293. So mark that. That could be pivotal. You haven't broken this potential inverse head and shoulders with the bottom side resistance or support at 295. So that is a correlation there at 290. And the inverse head and shoulders could take you, once you break it, to a new all-time high at 410. Give it. I'd probably say 420 just because that's funny. I'm sure you crypto degenerates would make that happen, right? Showing a little bit less strength on the MACD here compared to Cardano. You got a cross down on the MACD, which to me would indicate further chop. I don't think you're going to see anything crazy bearish, but for me, that would be more chop within this range before you see a greater breakout, which would take probably Cardano higher. On the weekly, same thing. You broke out of this wedge, saw a nice pop, and now you're within a wedge within the wedge within the wedge, right? Still green on the weekly MACD. Check. You have indicators pretty low at $2 and $1.15. So you don't want to visit that, right? That's going to kill your momentum. Your monthly close here is going to be pretty crucial. You want to see this thing recover before month's end. But still, doji. Not anything crazy, just showing indecision. Your quarterly chart, bullish, higher. And then this was the macro topside resistance that we had drawn up. So if you do break this, things get stupid. They get crazy. Just be careful at these levels. You are at inflated price levels on XRP. So it would hurt pretty dramatically to come all the way down to that, maybe the previous top here at 150. 50% drop. But the daily, the weekly, it does look nice. You're just most likely primed for more consolidation, and consolidation on top of the $3 price. That's a great thing, because it wasn't too long ago, just a month and a half ago, that you were down consolidating at $2. So think of this as a stair step, very similar to Bitcoin. XRP has been dramatically outperforming Bitcoin as of recently in this run, so I would not be surprised to see that continue. XRP is a retail favorite, so my current price target on it would be 420 and then 550, depending on what's happening on the RSI. Are you seeing divergences? Which that's a good thing that we could check right now. I'd be curious. XRP. Nah, I don't want that one. Give me the US dollar. Ah, that's why. It's because I have it compared to GME. Let's eliminate that. Oops. Oy vey, what have I done? Thank you. Okay, we're back to price action. Thank the Lord. Okay. All right, so already bearish divergence. That does not look great. But you can see here, very similar to Doge, you had a more dramatic and drawn out bearish divergence that led you to the slope of accumulation. What was that downtrend? That took you down 51%. Pretty dramatic. And I would expect something very similar here upcoming, right? Cryptocurrency in general does this quite often, and it gives signs before it dumps. 50% is extreme, but you can see the move before it happens, right? So you see here, I'm going to show you key bearish divergence. Your price made a higher high while the RSI made a lower low. And this is on the daily. This is very easy to point out in the moment. I'm sure that you will see it again on my channel. This is pitch perfect bearish divergence. And this doesn't mean that the coin or the stock is over forever, right? This just means price is cooked. It's done for a while. And it was. You were done on, like, what was this? 160-day accumulation, down 43%, right? I'd prefer not to hold through that if I could see the sign to get out, right? And what I don't like is you've made a little bit more of a macro bearish divergence, and price has made higher highs. So be careful here. I don't know what's going to happen. And if you were to rise maybe to that 410 to 550 zone and RSI was like down here, I'd be a little scared. I would be a little scared, and that might be your sign to boot, scoot, and boogie. Not financial advice. Do not listen to what I say or do. But that might be your top indicator, guys, that the top would be in. Of course, you have to monitor Bitcoin. I'm curious what XRP has done in the past, right? Let's take a look just so we can get some confirmation from XRP, because Dogecoin, it is to the cent every single time. As soon as you see bearish divergence, this thing dumps 70%. It seems like XRP is a little bit more stable. This was pretty choppy price action here during the whole lawsuit thing. So I don't know how valid this is going to be. Yeah. Let's just go off of recently. And recently it does say that. So bearish divergence. You didn't dump, but you went into an accumulation. And this is another tap of bearish divergence. So let's see. You are consolidating. Let's go to the weekly. I'm curious. So you're above. You are above. Come on. That's a good look. Tapped that and you ran. So I would anticipate some kind of test of this mid-band here while the RSI cools off, and then I would expect a new all-time high. Typically, that is the most bullish retest that you can have to show continuation. Here you knifed below it, but then you regained the mid-band on the RSI. Very possible. You could totally do that. Maybe you look to hold this overall macro trend on the RSI. If you did, that's a fantastic buying zone. Looking for continuation on XRP. So just a couple things to look at on the RSI, on the stock price, and on the fundamentals. Not financial advice, of course. But if you guys want to have more XRP and Cardano videos, please let me know. I love these tokens. I love these coins. And I'll continue to cover them because I have friends. I myself am invested in Cardano, so I'd love to continue. I just need more feedback from y'all. That's all I got for today, guys. I had a video on AMC and Cardano, XRP. This is the second video out today. So if you didn't see the first one, loop back, go watch it. Appreciate my 120 subscribers continuing to steamroll in the right direction. So if you guys found this content enjoyable, insightful, informative, please slap the subscribe button and drop kick the like button. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. God bless and peace. Whew.